Hey y'all, I want to go over the Relic system today in Nightreign and discuss what people generally don't like about it, what I actually quite like about it, and how to give a possible solution for why people don't like it, while keeping its RNG identity largely still intact. And no, the answer is not going to be a Relic editor in-game of some sorts. We'll get to that in a moment. So before I can offer a solution to the problem at hand, we need to discuss what it is that people dislike about the Relic system, and that is that it is too RNG. That the possibilities for roles are just way too varied to the point where getting your desired god role just seems impossible. Is it actually impossible? No, it's not impossible. In fact, I myself have gotten several god rolls over my time in playing. But I also at this point have over 1,500 hours, so I'm bound to get some good stuff, you know? Now, why is this such a hard complaint with people? It's because they feel limited by the relic system for build variety. There are a lot of really good relics the player can obtain that are static, that are guaranteed, simply by playing through the game, completing character quests, so on and so forth. But it's still, to them, and I do agree, limits what they can do in a way. Some of the most fun that you will end up having with this game is getting such a good random relic pull that you're like, oh wait, I can make this kind of build now. That's really cool. And that's part of the joys of the relic system. But people don't like how long it can possibly take, or maybe not at all, to acquire that. Now, what I really like about the relic system is what I just said. That like, oh wait, I can do this now type of feeling, right? When you get that really good relic or that slot that is in such a way with another effect or it's on a different color, and you go, oh wait, I can make this a build, this is crazy, hang on, I gotta run this right now and test it. That is such a cool feeling. I love the amount of variety and uniqueness that the relics can add to all of these characters. With that being said though, it is still very flawed. And the solution that I personally am going to give on how we can, quote, fix this is simple. And no, again, it is not giving the player some form of relic editing ability. It is that the relics should have a type of logic behind them. As it stands in the game right now, the relic rolls offer zero logic. What do I mean by logic? For instance, let's say you get a recluse relic effect as the first line, like the activating art inflicts blood loss to power her up. And then the next one is a vigor +3. You know, nice health boost, always appreciated. And then the bottom one is changes compatible armament skill to rain of arrows. Something that is completely useless on recluse. She literally cannot utilize this at all. It is grayed out if you were to go, if you had this and went and equipped it on her. A way that we could, quote, fix the relic system is to make it so that such a role is impossible. Now, Recluse is kind of a bad example of this, so let's go with Wilder, right? Wilder uses greatswords. So let's say, for instance, you get the relic effect of the fiery follow-up after using Wilder's hookshot. And then you get defeating enemies fills the arcade, something that Wilder especially always wants. But then you get starting armament skill is Bloodblade. Now, Bloodblade is a fantastic starting skill. However, Wilder cannot use it. It is impossible for him to use this. So instead, limit this insert starting armament skill to abilities that would only be usable on greatswords if it rolls a Wilder skill, such as Flame Strike, Lightning Slash, Chilling Mist, Horrorfrost Stomp, so on and so forth. All of the ones that are usable on his weapon so that this relic just doesn't have a useless dead slot. So it would still be RNG and you go, I really wanted Flame Strike, but I got Lightning Slash. But okay, maybe next time I'll get it. You at least have a better shot of getting what you hopefully desire if there's more logic to it. Now, there could be more generalized relics like Endurance +3, with improved dex and stamina back on hits, right? Those are fine. I don't mind that there's no logic for relics like that are really just, it doesn't have any specific character slots. It's all just, they threw stuff at the kitchen sink and here's what stuck type of relic, right? That is okay. I don't mind there being no logic for relics like that. But once you get a character skill involved in the mix, I feel like there should be some logic tied to it. Because that would offer more consistency to the RNG. The issue with the relic system isn't that it is so RNG, it's that there is no logic behind that RNG. So how do we fix this? Well, simply just give it logic. Make it so that the relic effects, depending on which one you roll, will block out other effects that do not match with it. It would be impossible for a, quote, mismatch to happen. Again, say you're on Iron Eye, you get an Iron Eye skill with an effect, and then you get Flaming Strike on that, or something that he just literally cannot use. Make it so that that cannot happen. And if he were to get a Star Armament skill, it would essentially always be Rain of Arrows, which for Iron Eye, that would be really good. Now think about it, that's a direct buff to his pool. Or I guess if you like Rain of Arrows. But I think this would be a good solution to offer, because it still keeps the overall RNG nature of the relic system fully intact. But once things start to get a little more focused on what the relic is doing in that RNG pool, the game goes, oh, okay, well, this character can't actually use that skill, so let's make sure that we roll between these X number of skills that this character can use, and boom, this is what you got. So would this benefit the game? I do think so, and I will tell you why. Right now, as the game currently is, the meta, right, is to run double balancers on most of the cast with whatever third slot you want, and just L2 skill spam your way to victory. You know, have affinity or whatever it is you want on your deep relics that further boost that damage and go wild. That is the meta. So why is that the meta? Is it because it's so particularly strong? Well, that is a part of it, and how I would fix that, by the way, is simply make it so that the balancer relics don't stack with each other. There you go. There's your solution for double balancers. Just simply make it so that they don't stack. Like, the Adele relic doesn't stack with itself, for instance, right? So just kind of make it like that. A single balancer relic is still very strong, but if the RNG to the relics had more logic to it, and it didn't always feel like just such a grueling, painful task, at the slimmest of hopes that you get something that you want for a build you would love to do, this would probably encourage people more to just be like, okay, you know what, I'm so close, you know, like, oh, I can almost feel it. Maybe if I roll this a few more times, I can get it. Or I do another couple expeditions and I'll get hopefully something close to what I'm looking for. And if they get something close enough, I do think most people, at least, would be fairly content with that and be like, okay, I can basically do the build I want to do, and they'll be happy so long as they're having fun with the build that they want to make. And having more logic to the relic system would enable that process. I do believe that such a reason why the balancer relics made such a big splash is because people are like, well, you know what? These relics are really good. They're guaranteed. My builds are all terrible because my relics are awful. I have bad RNG. Forget it. I'm just going to run these relics so I can at least be strong in the video game and have a good time. I do think that is a logic that some people have. Now, whether or not you agree with that thought process, entirely up to you. I'm not saying I really agree with that myself because, you know, I'm someone who did get a lot of good relics through RNG. I got lucky, and I will fully admit that. I have some relics that people are just like, wow, dude, that is an insane roll you got. And I'm like, yeah, I do not take it for granted, you know, because the RNG in this game is absolutely brutal. Now, the more and more you play, yes, you will get better relics, but for some people that can be over 1,000 hours. You know, maybe a few people get really lucky in their first 100 hours and they get an absolute banger of a relic that would make someone else with 1,000 hours go like, holy crap, I wish I had that, right? But it's all just up to luck. It's all up to luck. Which is why if that luck had more logic, I feel like people wouldn't feel so easily pressured to just run double balancer builds all the time. Because how many times you go in Deep of Night, you check your teammates' relics and you're like, ah yes, another double balancer build, right? So that's my stance on that. If the relic system had more of a logic to it, then it would be a whole lot better. Hey y'all, this brings the video to a close. If you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, please do let me know in the comment section down below. I love hearing from y'all and getting into conversations with you guys. It's a whole lot of fun. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please do consider doing the whole YouTube jazz of liking, subscribing, and of course, like I just said, the comment down below. If you want to talk to me about this stuff, I am always down for it. So until the next one, guys, adios.